Hey everybody, it's Tim with the University of Vinyl, back today to talk about two of my favorite compilation albums of all time. I had a recent commenter on one of my videos asking me about compilations and maybe you should feature some compilations sometime. So here it is. These are, again, two of my very favorites. They're from two fantastic bands that started out in the late 1970s. In one case, a band morphed into another band. You probably know who I'm talking about. The cool thing about these two albums are they are compilation albums that are not your typical greatest hits packages. They actually compiled all of the band's singles from the very beginning of their existence up until the time that the compilation albums were released. Now, another interesting thing about both of these albums is they're getting exceedingly difficult to find out in the wild. If you do happen across these albums, they're likely to be on a used record shop's wall, you know, the holy moly wall per se, and not in the bins because they're becoming more and more rare. Collectors are not letting them go out into the wild, and the only way they're finding their way out into resale shops is typically if someone is giving up the hobby, selling their entire collection, or other things have happened and those records are now available again. Let's start with the 1986 compilation from The Cure, Standing on a Beach, the singles. This is the US pressing that was on Elektra. It is a gatefold package. Pretty cool. Showing all of the singles laid out on the beach. Really nice photography on this. Kind of a black and white landscape, of course. Famously, the cover subject just happened to be a fisherman on the beach at the time that they took this photo, and apparently he didn't know who the band was, but was happy to lend a helping hand for, you know, to help these guys break through, I think was the exact quote that he said. And also apparently he said he was thinking about going out and buying a record player so he could hear some songs from The Cure. This is the original inner sleeve. And the running order of this album goes in chronological order. Of course, starting with Killing an Arab, released in 1979. The lyrics in Killing an Arab were used for the title of the album, Standing on a Beach. Then we've got Boys Don't Cry, Jumping Someone Else's Train, A Forest, the great Let's Go to Bed, of course, The Walk, and then finally finishing up with In Between Days and Close to Me, which were on, at the time, the most recent Cure album. There's that all-black Elektra label. This is another Specialty Records pressing. These things sound amazing. I might have to do a separate video on my favorite Specialty Records pressings. But very nice soundstage, great separation of instruments, a lot of slam, a lot of drive on this. Even going back to the very early singles, which actually were a little bit sparse as far as sound is concerned, they still sound good. They still have kind of an elementary punch to them, which is fantastic. The story goes is that this album was actually kind of put out to celebrate 10 years as a band in 1986. Of course, they started in 1976. Excellent compilation. Highly recommended. Hard to find. Keep your eyes out if you're out at a record show. Check those holy moly walls in the used shops. If you're lucky enough to kind of stumble across this at a great price, by all means, snap it up. One of the best compilation albums ever released. The next compilation I want to talk about, of course, is Substance. That was released by New Order in 1987. We have that kind of iconic, just plain white cover. There is a splash of color that I'll show you on the two original inner sleeves that I have. This was released on two different 33 1/3 records. So it has great, great, great sound as well. Funny fact, back in just out of high school, one summer I was mowing lawns to kind of make ends meet and get some extra money. And I remember I had several rental properties that I was responsible for mowing. And I had a Walkman and a cassette of Substance. And so far I think my hearing is still pretty good, but you can imagine blasting Substance on a Walkman while simultaneously mowing lawns. Not a great recommendation as far as persevering your hearing for your later years. But hey, so far so good. I'm happy for that. Not released in a gatefold, unfortunately. It was a single sleeve. But yeah, let's take a look at those inner sleeves. Very cool. Just a very, very kind of splash of red. And this led off with Ceremony, finishing with the fantastic song Thieves Like Us. Of course, it included Blue Monday as well. There's a running order on that album. And then the other splash of color is here. This side includes Perfect Kiss, Subculture, Shell Shock, State of the Nation, Bizarre Love Triangle, and True Faith. This, of course, was on the Quest label, licensed from Factory Records. You have a very cool kind of custom label. And great soundstage, incredible sound on this comp. Again, if you find this out in the wild, just snap it up, because I hardly ever find these or see these out anywhere. I got lucky 2 or 3 years ago and got one for under $50, but these are going, I think they're starting at $50 on Discogs and going up from there. That's the same situation with Standing on a Beach, the Cure's comp. That's just a quick one for today. Two fantastic comps from the middle 1980s from two of the most important bands ever. And at that point in time in the 1980s, they were two of the biggest bands in the world. I'm talking about New Order and The Cure and their respective compilation albums. Standing on a Beach, a collected group of singles from their first decade as a band. And then, of course, Substance, a collection of 12-inch singles from New Order. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'll be back very, very soon. I'm trying to bank a few videos here over Memorial Day weekend. Take care. We'll see you soon.